empowering youth with visual impairment.
Hello, today we have Sylvia with us, and she's going to share about her experiences seeking and searching for employment. Sylvia, do you mind to introduce yourself?
Well, hello everyone. I'm Sylvia Stinson-Perez and super happy to be here. I'm going to be sharing from my real life experience as a person who grew up visually impaired, low vision in a small town, and then what it was like to actually look for work in that small town. And then after I got a degree in a big town. So
Getting started, can you tell us about your employment experiences?
I was 16 or 17 and I was in a work program at school and we had to get a job and everyone got a job but me. And I think my teacher finally went and begged the daycare to please hire me. And they did, but they were very much supervising me because they were concerned about the safety of the children. I feel like I had to prove myself, and I was so proud the day that they did leave me with the children alone because they realized that I was safe and dependable and capable. Then, after graduating from university and starting to look for work, that also was a challenge because I was constantly hearing, well, how will you do the job? And I can tell you that initially I was not prepared to answer those questions. I did not really know how to explain about what accommodations I might need, which I did not need very many accommodations at that point, but I did need a couple. I needed the lighting to be better. Um, and I maybe needed some things a little bit in larger print. And I needed to not have to drive to wherever. I was a social worker, so if there was a needing to go to someone's home, I could not drive there. I needed to take public transit. So I needed accommodations, but I did not know how to explain all of that.
What advice can you offer about building skills and improving self-advocacy?
It is really, really, really important that you have skills. And I think having the blindness skills, the orientation and mobility, the use of any assistive technology that you need, the social skills, the knowing how to look in the direction of the people you're talking to, the comfort about advocating for yourself and sharing with employers. And they might not ask you about your visual impairment, but I can tell you that they're thinking about it. They're thinking in their mind, how will this person do that when they can't see? So it's really important to actually have those skills, but then to be able to talk about those skills, to advocate for yourself. And I mean, I think that I have learned over the years is really critical. Sometimes those are built through those volunteer experiences where that's a safe environment to build those skills. Where if you get lost in the building, you figure out, oh, I might need to work a little bit on my orientation skills. You learn how to take the public transit if you need to, or you find if you live in a small town and there's no public transit, just figuring out in a volunteer role how you're going to get places. So important.
What advice can you offer about building confidence?
To prove yourself to others, first you have to prove yourself to yourself. And so gaining that confidence yourself. But I really believe the only way you can do that is to get a little bit out of your comfort zone, going to programs where you can build skills, taking classes. I've been a lifelong learner and just taking lots of classes so that I could build my technical skills, but also it would force me to build, on my computer skills, which forced me to build on my assistive technology skills. I've traveled a bit, even on my own, quite a bit, to build my orientation and cane skills. I've put myself in volunteer situations where I'm often the only person who cannot see in the room. And that can be very uncomfortable even to this day. But I am finding that the more comfortable I am with myself, the more confident I am in me, the more comfortable people around me become. So, but the only way we can get comfortable with ourselves is to put ourselves into uncomfortable situations so that we learn and stretch ourselves. All those things that you have to do when you can't see, it's a lot, but we can do it.
Visit us at empowervi.org.